Hey, part two, June 18th, 2007, summation of the meeting of the Borough Council. The public comment portion of the meeting, someone brought up some point about apparently they did a really crappy job of painting the gazebo. I think that's what you said. You can't really hear in the public comment portion. You really can't hear the people who speak from the audience. We have a $7,000+ recording system, and you can't hear much of anything. Then there was an interesting portion where somebody asked some questions about the budget, and none of the council members could give a definitive number regarding percentage rate increases. And apparently there was only 4 council members present. The 2 newer ones, Stanton and the other guy, weren't there. Stanton's not even running for re-election, so I guess you're just not going to bother showing up. So anyway, but anyway, none of them knew. None of them knew how much the school budgets were going up, or at least they wouldn't tell the citizen. And so anyway, so they give this number. Well, it's going to be between 9 and 12%. That's the municipal budget. And it's just, it's just so silly. I mean, you can't 9 and 12%. You can't do better than that. But the point is the municipal portion, the 1/3 of the property tax burden, will be going up 6%. And the school budgets are around 6 point whatever percent. And so when you add it all up, you end up with something like 9.2%. So your increase will be something like 9.2%. And like I said, you add the sewage rate increase, and you're up to over 10%. Okay, and the rest of the public portion of the meeting was pretty much devoted to some citizens' concerns about what was proposed at the last meeting, which was a skateboard park. Of course, all the people whose backyard would be implicated showed up to the meeting to give us their objective explanation of why the location behind the Ward Sands parking lot would be a bad location. And but even though it is one of these not in my backyard things, it does seem a stupid location. I mean, any location is stupid. Skateboarding is it's not something we have to provide a public facility for or use public land for. Private enterprise should be taking care of that one. If there's enough skateboarders, let them pay to skate in a skateboard rink or something. It really is kind of a it's a little dangerous. I don't think we should be subsidizing football either. I mean, football causes a lot of injuries. Paralyzes a few kids a year. I mean, it's just it's not a good thing. None of our business anyway. As the public, we have no obligation to support sports that end up injuring people. But anyway, so there was a lot of discussion about that. It really was just a proposal. Hasn't even gone through the subcommittee thing yet. So I mean, it was kind of a lot of noise over nothing, because nothing's been decided on. And I really don't think the council is, these people are rather conservative. I don't see any real threat that they're going to say, oh yeah, let's have a skateboard park. So I don't see that happening anyway. But people do have to worry, because you never know what these idiots will do. And so the last bit, I guess, was one of my other public comment questions that they completely ignored. And
before the vote or any discussion, there was one member of the public who had a question about reserves. The last
wrong part of the. We'll jump ahead to
Mr.
here.
Jones has the question. Maybe you could just paraphrase
Come on.
Give a brief answer.
Gotta try to move this thing up here.
With respect to public comments, Gary Mosner of 147 Ironia Road, he had asked 2 questions last meeting. One of the 2 related to the budget, which was answered by Mr. Jones. The other one is the following question: how did the individual members of the council intend the words political message to be defined in Resolution 130-06? And did you, in passing the resolution, intend suppression of First Amendment protected speech to be appropriate to the TV25 mission? Mayor, I went back and took a look at the resolution and the interlocal services agreement, and I think the word political messages is actually used in the context of a specific paragraph of the agreement, and it relates to prohibited productions on the TV25 containing violent or sexually explicit material, obscene language, political messages, or programming that is commercial in nature from profit-making enterprises. So the answer to the question is, as far as political messages, it would be something viewed as stated in the agreement where the content by the governing board would be determined to be that would violate any one of these type of conditions or descriptions of such material. So political messages could be, for an example, if someone were to try to put a campaign message on the local station, but I would leave the rest of that definition to the actual governing board who makes decisions relevant to TV 25.
Thank you, Fred.
I mean, what a crock of shit. I mean, that's the answer to the question. That's what the council was thinking when they passed the fucking law. So here you have this, you know, I mean, I mean, there's no respect for the United States Constitution here. These people should be literate enough in civics to understand that the Supreme Court really frowns upon vague and ambiguous legislation. I mean, you have to actually define words when you use them. You cannot say political content and then say it could be this and it could be that, because you're placing a restriction on liberty, you assholes. You're compromising the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. You ought to have the balls and the guts to say exactly what it is that you're prohibiting, and you don't pass it off to some fucking citizen committee that you appoint to make those determinations. That is ludicrous. That is your job. You are the elected fucking officials. So look, you stupid ass scumbags, I am going to be suing you, and you deserve it, and you should be liable up the ass, because this is just bullshit. I've been nagging at you jackasses for 2 years to give me a fucking answer to a fucking question, and you won't fucking answer the question. It's just bullshit. You know, and this whole political system is all a racket, and these lawyers and these fucking judges are all fucking criminals. But I'm not going to take this forever. I mean, sooner or later I will win, because I'm going to keep fighting. And it just sucks that everybody in this fucking country is such a fucking Nazi. Well, not this country, because obviously in other fucking states you couldn't get away with this shit. Because a fucking judge will sit there and smack you over the head and say, what the fuck are you thinking? You think you can fucking play games with the United States Constitution? But, you know, that only happens in California and, you know, the liberal Northeast. Obviously, we are somehow segregated from that liberal Northeast, you know, in this little enclave of Nazi fascist motherfuckers. And it's just stupid. I mean, I shouldn't have to make this stupid argument. This is just fucking ludicrous bullshit. It's a goddamn public access channel. It's called a public forum. Me personally, have a right, like everybody else, an equal right, okay, to use that fucking forum. God damn, this is really not complicated. And it's amazing. In the United States of America, you have to make this fucking argument. This fucking place where these assholes start their fucking meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, I have to make this goddamn argument. Stupid motherfuckers. God, I hate you fucking all.